Hello, my name is Daniel Neumann, and this GoFundMe is about my father, Ronald Neumann. So let's start with the basics. Why am I creating a GoFundMe for my father? It's because he has end-stage liver disease. He was the primary provider of this family, which consists of my mother, Kathleen Neumann, who's on disability, myself, who works in human services, and also a lot of times my sister, Christine Neumann, even though she does not live at the apartment. We're asking for $30,000, but I know you're thinking that's a lot of money, but we can split into 3 people with $10,000 apiece. I'm just joking. That's trying to keep it light. That's the best you can do in situations like these. Nobody really expects this kind of stuff to happen. And there really isn't any kind of like savings or life insurance. And I'm going to get into some of the things of the past that sort of maybe create some context for what's going on right now and the need for financial assistance. But first I want to just talk about my father and why I think, if anything else besides donating and sharing this video or the GoFundMe page, is to pray for my father. He's a good man. You know, obviously I love him. He taught me how to play chess. He's always been very calm and cool-headed in terrible situations. Sometimes we joke he's a little too anxious when it's not high stakes, but when it is, when it's something really big deal, he was always calm. And when I've screwed up, because I've screwed up in life, he's always been very patient and always trying to remind me that my life is worthy. And I want to say right now that his life is very worthy. He may also have liver cancer. He's on a list now. Within maybe 6 months, maybe he'll get a liver. They don't really know, but he's on call constantly to get a liver transplant for the conceivable future, and he's going to need it. Without insurance, it costs $500,000 to get a liver transplant. Luckily, my dad does have Medicare Part A and Part B, so that does cover some of the costs, but it doesn't cover all the costs. And further than that, he's not going to be able to work anymore. And me, I'm going to be the only one with a job, at least presently right now. My mother's on disability, my sister doesn't have a job, and my dad is not going to be able to work much longer. He still tries, like right now he's actually working. He was hesitant to have a GoFundMe. This wasn't his idea. It was my mother's and also our neighbors. And they said, Dan, you know, you do the social media stuff, like come on, you need to do this. And I think it's a pride thing. He doesn't want to accept money, but we're gonna need it. It's kind of more, if anything, it's for my mother as well, because she's always relied on my father for so much. And it's been really hard on her. And originally I was gonna have her on the video, and I decided it's best just to do this myself. So let's give some context. We used to have a house, but during the 2008 economic recession, we lost the house like so many did. And we looked for whatever we could get, which is this apartment here. Now, this is not the apartment, this is the storage unit area. And you might be asking yourself, why am I filming down here? Well, this is the place that we would go if there was a huge storm, like a tornado warning. This would be the safe place to go. But some things in life, some storms in life, you can't go to a shelter for. You need to reach out to others for help. And that's what this video is about, and this is what this GoFundMe is about. Anything that you can donate. I mean, it could be $1. I mean, it's all, what can you afford? And if you can't afford any money, I understand that. That's why I'm making a GoFundMe. I'm there with you. We're all travelers on this path. We're all floating down a stream and there's a waterfall ahead, right? We're all going to die eventually, but we can hold on to each other. And that's the most kind thing you can do. I think kindness really is, maybe kindness, love, they're connected, is the most important thing in this universe. So now we live in an apartment, and the rent has gone up. It went from $1,250 to $1,500 a month, which is just salt on the wound. So beyond the medical expenses, we're also going to we need help with paying rent and paying bills, electric bill, water bill, taxes. I don't need to bore you with all the bills out there, like internet bill, which is unfortunately a necessity in this world, with, at least the kind of job I have. And speaking of my job in human services, I work with people with intellectual developmental disabilities and autism spectrum disorder, and unfortunately it does not pay as much as it should. I've made videos about this as well. We'll see what happens, but I'm going to say, without giving out my exact income, it's between 40K and 50K, but think low, which is not enough to sustain a family. I wouldn't say. I mean, maybe, who knows? And I'm a believer in God, as you can see with my cross, and I did ask for prayers, so I do pray for a miracle, and I think God will somehow get us through this. But if you don't believe, I understand that too. I've been an atheist before, and there's no clear answers in this world. Maybe I can just appeal to your humanity. Basically what Dad's dealing with now is fluid buildup that he has to get drained. It started at 2 weeks, now it's pretty much like every week. The toxicity that is building up in his body and of course his brain is affecting his behavior. But he's trying his best to stay who he is. So it's definitely a hard situation, and the money would help a lot, and of course the prayers. So consider donating if you have the money to do so. If you don't, please share the video, the GoFundMe page. If you're watching this on YouTube or one of my other social media platforms that I have presence on, the GoFundMe page will be in the description. And I guess that's everything. God bless you. And if you don't believe in God, then thank you.